someone should tell you that catastrophic disease happens overnight in a poultry farm, that is a lie. Now, it comes with a lot of warning signs, okay, a lot of alertness, and that is why, as an experienced farmer, you have to open all your taps to listen to these warning signs. You have to open your eyes to see what is going on. That is why today I'm here to share an insight into poultry, which talks about you being alert, okay, you having that mindset of knowing the warning signs before it takes over the whole farm. Once again, my name is Dada Farms, and if you've not hit the subscription button, please do so, and also press on the notification buttons, as I always deliver insightful videos to you. So now, in poultry, one thing that most farmers say is that I have this kind of disease, I'm facing these challenges, but then the warning signs will always be there. The warning signs will always be there to show you that I am coming. And that is why you have to open all your taps. You have to open your eyes to know that some occurrences that are happening at the farm, they are abnormal, and therefore you need to solve it as early as possible before it becomes too hard to contain. With poultry disease, before disease can set in and cause distraction at your farm, open your taps to observe the behavior of the birds. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is the behavior of your birds. If you have a set of birds that some of them, they are standing unsteadily, their movement is not that good, and also some have isolated themselves from the whole flock, and they are standing with their eyes closed, standing still, with drowsiness, and also with lethargy. It tells you that you have a problem at your farm. Your production will not decrease marginally at that time, but because the disease is now taking shape, it's going to affect you. So you have to observe the behavior of your birds. Make sure that your birds are moving freely within the pen. If you see some of them exhibiting these signs that I'm talking about, take care. You have to be very attentive to their behavior so that you can take the necessary steps of eradicating whatsoever disease that is approaching your farm. The second one that I'm going to talk about is also the appearance of your birds. Now, with the appearance, I'm talking about the nature of your birds. Sometimes your birds will be having this pale comb, they'll be having this swollen face. They'll also be birds with closed eyes. They'll also be birds with swollen limbs. Also, some birds will have this blackish spots on the comb. These are all signs of appearance that tells you that something is wrong with your birds. Act sharp. Act sharp. If you are seeing this kind of signs at the farm, it is very devastating, and it's going to cause a havoc if you don't attend to it quickly. The third thing that I would like to talk about here is the feeding. You can easily detect healthy birds just by looking at their feed consumption. Most farmers, because feed is very expensive, they don't really appreciate that their birds are eating. But then, if you have birds that eat very well, your production is going to increase at a faster pace. So make sure that if your birds are not feeding very well and you monitor it, if they are supposed to take 100 grams and they are taking 80 or 70 or 60, there's a problem with your birds. And also, if they are not taking enough water, it tells you that there is a problem with your birds. Even humans, when we are sick, there's a reduction in our consumption of food. And that is the same thing that happens to birds. If your birds are exhibiting that kind of reduction in feed intake, there is a problem at your farm. Act fast before it becomes a problem to you at the farm. The fourth one that I would like to talk about here is your production trend. Now, if your production is not steady and you have a drastic reduction in production, let's say you are producing 90% in production and there's a drastic reduction to 80%, it tells you that something is wrong with your birds. If your birds are healthy, they are not going to reduce their production trend sharply unless the birds are getting older, and even old birds do not sharply reduce their production. So if your birds have sharply reduced their production of eggs, it tells you that you have a problem at your farm. Therefore, you need to act fast. Secondly, if your birds are producing abnormal eggs, misshapen eggs, eggs that are bleached, eggs that are very small, eggs that are very dirty, it tells you that there's a problem with your farm. Egg characteristics is a very good indication that you have a problem at your farm. So open your eyes and look at the nature of your eggs. If they are abnormal, there is a problem at your farm. If the production rate is also not good, it tells you that you have a problem at the farm. So therefore, you need to ask so that you can solve whatever is happening to you at the farm. The last one that I'm going to talk about is also the body weight. At every stage of the birth, you are supposed to accumulate some amount of weight, especially with broilers. So at 1 week, if you are not getting your 130, 140 grams, you have a problem with your birds. Maybe there might be a subclinical disease that is affecting them. So monitor the weight of your birds. The weight of your birds fall below your targeted weight, there's a problem fast, so that you can control whatever is happening to your birds, which is declining their weights. Okay, if you are able to open your eyes to understand this science at the farm, you are just going to be one of the most experienced poultry farmers that I know. These are the basic course in poultry, and therefore don't play with it. Thank you and have a very good day.